Good morning, and I'm a little bit late to the party with this one, primarily because last week when this was breaking, all of us were actually riveted to Mark Cerny's talk on the PlayStation 5, and then after we woke up from that one, we were comparing the PlayStation 5 to the Xbox Series X and trying to work out which actually was the better console, and now we know which is the better console, depending on whether we prefer Xbox or PlayStation. One or the other is the best console, so I won't be talking about it anymore until release. And if you believe that one, you'll believe anything. But the other reason is obvious. You guys know what's going on in the world, and things have changed for all of us, and I've got my boy home, and my partner's working from home as well. So I'm trying to work out how I can fit these videos in around them and with my kids' schoolwork and all the rest of it. So bear with me during all this. I will try and put videos out, but it is going to be a little bit more difficult. But anyway, as I say, to the point, we, or at least a lot of us, missed this story, or at least I heard about this story, but I didn't really give it my full attention until now. And basically what it is to do with Nintendo coming in and speaking to Sony and trying to get certain games removed or certain projects removed from Dreams. Now, for those of you who don't know, Dreams is a game that allows you to create games. It's a bit like Roblox, but with, slightly better graphics, that kind of idea. You basically get Dreams and you can play other people's creations or you can make your own creations. And as is ever with these things, you get people making creations that are based on IPs from other companies. And lo and behold, we got people making stuff around Mario. And so what's happened is we've had these people making these games around Mario. And, it's the equivalent, the digital equivalent, if you like, the gaming equivalent of fan fiction. These guys, they love the games, they love Nintendo, and so they wanted to create something of their own. And the crucial point here is that they're not making any profit. They're not doing this for money. They're doing it out of love. And this always seems to be something that Nintendo miss. And, while I'm making this video, or while you're watching this video, you should be seeing some footage from Black Mesa. And for those of you who don't know, Black Mesa is a complete recreation of the original Half-Life, and it started off as a fan project, and Valve have embraced it and allowed it to happen. And they did this with Counter-Strike, they did this with Portal. We go back far enough with ID, and ID are owned by Bethesda now, or at least they're published by Bethesda now, so God knows what would happen now. But if you go back in the day and you look at Doom, we had all sorts of mods and add-ons for Doom, and I think we still get them. I don't know. I haven't really been into that scene for a long time now. I know we got Sigil from John Romero last year, but getting off subject. We had things like Alien Doom, where people created a shooter that was Alien within Doom. They created their own artwork, and they made a version of Alien. And, it was a bit clunky and all the rest of it, but it was a lot of fun. And there were a lot of those things back in the day, but never with Nintendo. And we've had this with LucasArts as well. And God knows what will happen if anyone actually tries to create a Star Wars game within Dreams. I can imagine the same thing happening. But it kind of misses the point, when you've got a company like Nintendo coming in and shutting these things down, shutting these labours of love down, which only serve as adverts for their products, for their properties. Because people will look at this, people will play this, and it won't make them not play Nintendo products. It'll make them look at the Nintendo products again and say, oh, I really remember playing that. Let's go back and play this one. Or let's play a most recent Mario. Let's play Super Mario Odyssey, because I've looked at this in Dreams and it was so much fun. I want to go back and play these games. So it's not hurting Nintendo in any way. And as you can see, I've put up on screen now, I've got an article from Eurogamer, and they quote the guy who actually created one of these Mario fan fictions, if you like, or a mod, or I don't know what you call it when it's in Dreams and you create it from scratch. I don't know what you'd call it exactly. But anyway, This guy's called Piece of Craft, and he says, good news and bad news. We flew too close to the sun, boys. A big video game company who will remain nameless, or I will keep nameless, obviously didn't read my be cool note in Dreams. Of course they didn't. Nintendo don't know how to be cool. No worries though, have a backup plan, but for now Mario projects in Dreams are on hold until I put said plan into effect. And yeah, so basically they've come in, and according to Eurogamer, Sony has pulled popular Super Mario character model from PlayStation 4 game Dreams after a complaint from Nintendo. As spotted on Go Nintendo, Dreams creator Piece of Craft took to Twitter to reveal Mario projects in Dreams are on hold. And as he said there, and later on it says, the email came through the same email I have linked to my PSN, but it was from the Legal and Business Affairs Division of Sony Interactive Entertainment, not from and stated Nintendo themselves had objected to my use of their Super Mario IP in Dreams. So, yeah, that's that. I think that's interesting. Just as a side note here, it is interesting that earlier on he said, I will keep nameless. And then later on he says, and stated Nintendo, which, I don't know, I find that amusing. I've got to find a little bit of humour in this because it's not really very humorous, is it? And this is Nintendo being true to form, and they've got history here. We all know they've got history here, and you kind of expect it, but we keep hoping, don't we? We keep hoping they're going to change their spots and they're going to start realising that this is actually a bad look for them. But do they care? I don't know, because they're selling so many consoles. They're selling so many Switches and so many games. It's like they've got all the power, and so it seems that they don't care about crapping on some of their fans, because obviously this guy's obviously a fan. You don't do this stuff unless you're a fan, do you? I mean, I wouldn't waste my time making a Mario game. I mean, I wouldn't know where to start, to be honest. I'm not a programmer, and from what I understand, things are easier in Dreams, but they're not easy. So it's probably not something I would have done, even if I did want to create something within Dreams. And I don't own the game yet. I do intend on getting it at some point, but I don't own it yet. If I did want to make something, I'd probably make a shooter, and it wouldn't be a Mario shooter unless... that would be quite fun, I suppose. You could create Mario and and have the Master Chief or something shooting him repeatedly in the face. That would wind up Nintendo fans, wouldn't it? Probably shouldn't have said that. I'll probably have Nintendo knocking on the door in a minute because I mentioned Nintendo. It's me, Mario. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble now. Don't think about Nintendo. Don't think about Mario. Don't think about Zelda, because if you do, they'll seize your brain for evidence. And yes, I nicked that from somewhere. I can't remember where from, but yeah. They're going to come in and they're going to seize your brain because you thought about Nintendo. Let's be honest, it's a bit pathetic, isn't it? And what's he go on to say? He says, I can remix it, but the original I can no longer edit and other will not find or be able to use. Not too sure what will happen to levels that use the Mario. Guess we'll have to wait and see. It's kind of like a slap on the wrist. Yeah, and this is, I mean, you can see it here. I don't know if the video will play. I don't know. I'm not going to do that here just in case, because Nintendo have at least loosened their grip on YouTube, and you don't have to give all your money over if you make any money, or ask them kindly to let you use their stuff and sign up to their I can't remember what it was called, but you had to sign up to something to be able to use your gameplay of their IP. But that no longer applies, so they have loosened up a little bit. But yeah, look at this. It just seems a bit daft to me. And I know that legally they've got a right to do this, but really? Really? And as I say, we've had this back in the day with LucasArts. Can't remember what the game was, but there was a game with LucasArts, a LucasArts game that they hadn't done anything with it for years, and fans were making levels and stuff for it, and they put a stop to that. And as I say, you can imagine, we go in here, you can imagine something like this, but with Darth Vader or something, a Darth Vader story or something like that. You can imagine Disney are going to jump in and with both feet and be kicking anyone who tries to do something like that as well, because Disney and LucasArts are pretty tough on these kind of things as well. But as I say, I just think it's counterproductive. I don't think it's a good look for these companies. And it's a real shame that fans can express their love for the games and their love for the IPs and the characters without this going on. I mean, we've had this with TV and with novels and stuff for years where people have written fan fiction. And sometimes fan fiction turns into something big. What was it? The Twilight series. I think I can't remember the soft porn thing that they did. Not really my thing. But apparently that came out of Twilight. That was Twilight fan fiction, and that went on to be a big seller, made a lot of people a lot of money, and all the rest of it. And as I say, going back to Black Mesa, Counter-Strike, Portal, Alien Doom, all these things, some of them just were fan works that just people played and had fun with, and some of them were taken up by the company, Valve in this case, and went on to make money for the company. So, I don't know, I just think Nintendo need to be a bit more open-minded. And other companies that have their approach to this need to be a bit more open-minded. Because it leaves a sour taste in my mouth when I see stuff like this. And I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I understand it from a legal standpoint, and if they're, letting their lawyers make all their decisions for them. But you don't treat your best fans like this, do you? Really? I don't know, maybe Nintendo fans are masochists and they like being kicked repeatedly in the nuts. Who knows? But anyway, look, that's me done. I'm going to go and get a cup of tea, and I'll speak to you guys, well, soon, I hope, as long as I can work around my family and and all that stuff. But bear with me, stay safe, try not to get sick, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. It's me, Mario. Who is it? It's Nintendo. We have a cease and desist order. You were heard saying one of our catchphrases, It's me and Mario, that one. What? Jesus, what is this? How'd you get here so fast? Why are you out Emperor Palpatine's bloody stormtroopers or something? Here, we heard that. You're in trouble now, son. Here, Bill, get on to Disney. Did you hear what he was saying? You were thinking about Star Wars, weren't you, son? Ha, that's not allowed. Oh, shit.